Grammar Girl here. I'm Mignon Fogarty, and this is not a normal Grammar Girl podcast. It was released on the wrong day, right? Well, now it's the right day because, big news, I'm going to be releasing 2 shows per week from now on. One on Tuesday, like this, and one on Friday, as I always have. The Friday show will be the same as what I've always done, and the Tuesday show will be more of a mix. Some of them will also be traditional Grammar Girl shows, but some will be interviews or maybe even something like a book club. I'm still kind of figuring it out, which is one reason you might want to take our listener survey at bit.ly/grammargirlsurvey and tell me what you'd like to hear. And I'm just full of news today. I also have set up the Grammar Girl voicemail line where you can leave messages for us to play on the show. That number is 83321-4GIRL. 83321-4GIRL. Language questions are fine, but I'd particularly love to hear your stories about the unique language your family uses. Here's an example from my family. We call ficus trees Normans, and I bet nobody else does that. Here's why. When my husband and I were students, we had only one car, so I rode my bike a lot. Well, one day I was out on my bike, and I decided to buy my husband a small potted ficus tree. I put it in my backpack, but it was so big the backpack wouldn't close, and then it started to rain. So by the time I got home, the tree and I were both a muddy mess. The night before, we had watched a movie called City Slickers, in which Billy Crystal's character delivers a calf named Norman in a muddy field or barn in a rainstorm. So when I pulled the muddy ficus tree out of my backpack and presented it to Pat, he said, "It's Norman." And ever since, when we see a ficus tree, we call it Norman. In 2017, I asked people on Twitter what this kind of language is called, and some people said it's called family slang or kitchen table lingo, and a couple of people said it's called a familect or familiolect. If a dialect is the language of people in a certain region or group, and an idiolect is one person's way of speaking, then a familiolect is one family's way of speaking. And people shared their funny stories. For example, Caroline's father calls the microwave Chernobyl, and Norma's family calls pants rawls because they are the bottom part of overalls. I'd love to hear and share the stories behind your family's kitchen table lingo. So leave a voicemail and tell me your story at 83321-4GIRL. Finally, last announcement, don't forget about my upcoming AP Style webinar on February 28th with Reagan.com. It's a basic and intermediate level session for people who need to know AP Style for work. I'll put a link in the show notes, and I'll also be tweeting about it. My Twitter handle is Grammar Girl. I hope you're excited about getting more shows and being able to leave messages. Grammar Girl is part of the Quick and Dirty Tips podcast network, and you can find me and all the other Quick and Dirty Tips hosts at quickanddirtytips.com. That's all. Thanks for listening.